gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, CaneSport. It's December the 13th, 2022. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com, joined as always by our managing editor, Matt Shodell, as we discuss the news of the day, presented tonight by Caneswear, your holiday shopping destination for the Canes fan, and by Life Wallet, where the time is now to take charge of your personal health. And Matt, it has been a crazy 24 hours at CaneSport. The recruiting news, the recruiting scoops coming left and right from everywhere as our team spreads out across the globe, literally, to cover this 2022 Miami recruiting effort, and action taking place in many states. You know, as Mario Cristobal crisscrosses the country, he was in California on Sunday night, and he was back in Ocala on Monday morning. So, redefining the word red eye there, Mario, and jet setting all around the country. And he also visited Reed McKeska at some point in there. We had a story on that. But I guess we should start today with the news that was broken last night by Zuby Charles of CaneSport.com, who caught up with Ruben Bain yesterday and was told by Ruben that we will know his final destination by Wednesday. And initially, Ruben had said he was going to announce at the state championship game. He and his family decided, let's not be a distraction. Let's not make that the focal point of our team trying to play for the state championship, Matt. And he is going to get this thing out of the way by Wednesday. I still believe, despite all the drama, that Ruben Bain is going to be a Miami Hurricane. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I already know his final destination. It's Miami. It's Miami Central. That's where he's going to be playing for a state title. And yeah, he'll look. I mean, if he's not a Miami Hurricane, something's very, very wrong. His former coach, Roland Smith, is in the Miami offices. His brother works in the Miami offices. His uncle played for the Miami Hurricanes. His sister-in-law is the assistant running backs coach's wife. His 3 cousins all play for the Miami Hurricanes. He's got 2 other siblings who are going to be in the back office next year. No, I'm just making that stuff up. The first part was all true, though. He's got so many connections to Miami. It would be crazy for him to go anywhere else. I can't picture it, can't imagine it. I know NIL is always a wild card, but yeah, I fully expect him to be a Miami Hurricane. The only thing annoying is why he keeps moving his announcement date. I mean, it was an All-Star game, then it was signing day, then it was the state championship, which never made any sense. Why would you take away from your team having its moment at the state title game, winning a 4th state title, winning a national title, to just stop everything and have your announcement? It made no sense. So now all of a sudden,
he thinks it's the Under Armour All-Star game, Matt.
Huh?
He thinks it's the Under Armour All-Star game.
Yeah. So now he's moved it again. Now it's either Tuesday, it's either today or tomorrow. I mean, I don't know why. Like, why? I just want a recruit who's just says, listen, I'm going to announce this day and stick to it. I mean, I have a big announcement, on Twitter. I have a big announcement. Here's my top 15. I mean, that happens all the time now. Stay tuned tomorrow for huge news, and it just says I still have the same top 5, but I really like them a lot now, or something. Like, whatever, man. I'm so over the drama with these recruits. Whenever it gets close to signing day, it gets super annoying to me. I don't know if fans like it. Maybe they like it. I don't know.
They like it. It's intrigue. It's drama.
That's not for me, man. I want could you picture any of these old school Miami Hurricanes pulling this stuff? No, there's no way. And let me tell you something. If any of these players did this and those old school Hurricanes were still playing at Miami, they would not be happy with those recruits playing these stupid games, and messing with fans and all this stuff. I mean, It's a little ridiculous. It really is.
It could be worse. You could be in Gainesville, where they're trying to scrape up nickels to compete with Miami in recruiting here on guys like Mark Fletcher, who we also have a story on the website today. Updating where Mark Fletcher stands after his visit to Florida. So check this out, Matt. So this Gator fan Ryan posts on Twitter that if you're a Gator fan and you care about winning, you need to donate $10 to the Gator Collective. So like they are like actively having their fans do grassroots fundraising so that they can have enough cash on hand to try to steal Malik Bryant and Mark Fletcher and a couple of these recruits late in the game. I found that pretty humorous.
Humorous. It's brilliant. This is what I said Miami should be doing. Like, leak the freaking ticket holders list, the Golden Canes list. Leak it to whoever, man, and like start a GoFundMe for the collective. Any school that does that,
they can leak it to us. We'll launch the campaign. Subscribe to CaneSport.com and the Miami Collective all at the same time, $10 a piece. How about that? Because we have our $10 special.
Well, I don't understand why you think it's humorous. If anything, it's bad for Miami, because any school that's able to do that and raise massive amounts of money from their fan base, that's not funny to me. That's like not that. You think it's funny? All right. I don't think it's funny.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have John Ruiz's $15 million war chest in your camp, or guys trying to raise millions of dollars, $10 at a time?
I mean, honestly, I would value them both equally, quite honestly, because there's no limit you can put on a fan's fanmanship. I guess, is that a word? Fanwomanship?
You got to get 1.3 million fans or so to donate $10 million to even like think about keeping pace with John Ruiz.
All right. Well, what you're not understanding is people can ask for $10, but fans are going to give more than that. For instance, if I was asked to give money to, and I get asked to give money to colleges and to this and that, I don't give $10. They say, oh, $10 pledge. Nobody gives $10, Gary. You give $100, you give $250.
No chance.
You give $500.
No chance.
I've given $1,000.
People can't afford to give their money away like that.
I've given $1,000 to causes where I don't get the taxes back from it. Because if you believe in something and you care about something, that's what you do. And if you don't seem to understand that Florida fans are passionate about their school, just like Miami fans are, it's not humorous. It's their way of stealing away Miami recruits. That's not funny, Gary. Okay,
come on, man.
This is what Miami needs to be doing.
Oh man, we got to give Samson Okinola a $1 million NIL deal. We need 100,000 Gator fans tonight to get your donations in for $10 a piece, so we can afford to try to steal Samson Okinola from Miami.
So let's see how funny it is. Let's see how funny it is if they actually get him because of this. Because that's not funny. That's not the way this should work. It's not funny. I don't know why you think it's so funny.
Come on. I'll take John Ruiz any day, just scratching out the contract. Okay, I'll give you your $300,000 a year, whatever it ends up being, to come be a Miami Hurricane and move on. Then trying to raise the money $10 at a time, like these guys are doing. I mean, it's like, come on, are you serious? So anybody wants to help the Gators out, reach out to Go Gators for Life or whatever. I'm probably helping them here.
There are 60,000 Gator students at a time at that university. 60,000 that graduate every 4 years. Okay, that's all 4 years.
Do you think they're going to take their $10 weed budget and give it to the Gator Collective?
What I'm trying to explain to you, which you just can't seem to get it through your 98-year-old head, is that the future of NIL, if the NCAA doesn't step in and stop this, is fans giving money to recruits. Okay? That's never been done before. This is now being done, but you don't want it done at Miami because, what do we need that for? We have John Ruiz.
Miami has a collective.
Out of your damn mind. The future of NIL, if they don't stop this, is fans constantly pumping money. 60,000 fans every 4 years, new fans pumping money into a collective that shouldn't be allowed to be there, and that John Ruiz thinks is magically going to just dry up and disappear. It will if they legislate it. If they don't legislate it, the future of NIL is 1 million Gator fans, okay, that are, even if 10% of them give $100 a year, that's a massive fortune that Miami cannot match because Miami is a small college
Yeah,
compared to
I hope
that.
you're wrong for Miami's sake.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it needs to be legislated. It's not funny because it's a massive problem.
This is funny. Do you have $10 to give to the collective?
So you think it's the $10? You think the $10 is the funny part?
The best athletic department in the country.
You
That's
think
funny, Matt.
For you,
That's
the $10 is funny.
I know you think you're funny every morning on the
I'm
show,
not funny.
but that is funny.
I am not funny. People obviously don't think I'm funny because all they complain, they say my voice is annoying to their dogs. Like people literally say to me, if they turn on this show in the morning and the dogs hear my voice, they run out of the room. Somebody posted that today, that the two dogs, he has to stop watching the show because the two dogs are so annoyed by this. You know, I'm not funny. I think my annoying negative nature, people perceive it as funny because they think I'm trying to be funny,
think you're negative.
but I'm not trying to be funny. This is just who I am. Like, I'm sorry, but you know, that is what it is.
They definitely think you're negative. That's
I mean, for sure. But people still don't understand. They're posting about it yesterday on our message boards. They're like, you know, Matt keeps posting these negative updates that this guy's not visiting and that guy's not visiting. I'm like, listen, first of all, I couldn't make it one update because I literally was posting live information as I got it all morning as I just pounded the phone lines for every recruit that was still on the radar to see if they might have somebody come visit. Secondly, yes, I am negative, but what people still don't perceive, and I've explained it a million times, is by being negative, you're being positive, okay? Because the more negative you are, picture it this way, okay? If you go to a movie and you think the movie is going to be awful and it's like just okay, right? You're pleasantly surprised. You leave that theater happy, like, oh, you know, that's better than I thought it would be. If you go to the movie theater thinking it's going to be amazing and it's just okay, you leave the movie theater like, ah, man, I wasted $20 on that, you know? And that's signing day, for instance, right? If you think signing day is going to be amazing and we're getting everybody, and you don't get everybody, you get really a good amount of people in a great class, but not everybody, you're left like, oh, man, it could have been better. That sucks. Whereas if you expect the worst, you'll be happy on signing day. So I invite every Hurricanes fan to give me $10 and to be miserable like me. Send your $10 check made out to Matt Shodell, care of CaneSport at joestonecrab.com. And like, we can all be happy together by expecting really bad results. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, all right. Well, while the Gators are scraping up $10 bills to try to keep up with Miami for Mark Fletcher, Malik Bryant, am I leaving anybody out that the Gators are trying to grab? I don't think so. Auburn is sitting there with its own $13 million war chest and their new head coach, Hugh Freeze, and they're trying to steal Connor Lew from Miami. So Alex Mirabal, the offensive line coach, jetted up to Georgia yesterday and spent some time with Connor Lew. The reports that I have gotten on that meeting were that it went well and that Miami hopefully is back in a good place there. But that one was looking a little dicey for a few hours. And, you know, if it does stay with Lou in the Miami camp, that's great work by Coach Mirabal, because Mario has already taken his home visit to Connor Lew's house and can't go back. So this one is the Alex Mirabal show. And we'll continue to monitor that one as soon as Connor Lew hopefully decides that he's talking again. In the meantime, Mirabal and with this time with Mario are jetting up to see Samson Oklahoma this morning. And I'm sure it's with the intent of trying to lock that one up too. I mean, it's time. You know, we've been talking about a Samson commit to Miami, Matt, for many, many months. And it just hasn't happened. And, you know, you want to be nervous about it. You want to say, man, like, is he really favoring Miami like everybody thinks? And, you know, if that's true, then why isn't he making an announcement? It would be nice now as we get at 8 days here before signing day, if this one could be put to bed. And
well, this is another one of these modern day recruitments. He is planning to be a major NIL guy. He's already got these pancake things in place. And for him, it's all about the drama. It's all about getting more followers. It's all about, you know, Twitter this, Twitter that. if he could make this recruitment last another 20 years, I think he would.
He definitely would.
I mean, it's not for me, man. Like, I don't like pancakes. I'm sorry, Samson. I haven't had a pancake since I threw up eating them near Cornell when I was like 12 years old. Okay, it was chocolate chip pancakes with whipped cream and all this other stuff on it. It was like an enormous thing, and I finished it, and then I was very, very nauseous afterwards. And I have not had a pancake since. So, all of you anti-pancake people out there, okay, I am with you. Like, I'm the Pop-Tarts, okay? I don't even do waffles. Waffles are too closely related to pancakes. But like the Pop-Tarts, I used to eat a box of Entenmann's cookies for breakfast. That's true. I would heat it up 30 seconds in the microwave, eat a full box of Entenmann's cookies with a glass of milk. Nothing wrong with that. But no pancakes. And I don't like the 3-letter word. I am done with that stuff. I just wish these guys would treat recruiting like it is, which is announce for the school where you think you have the best future as a student athlete, and where you form the best bond with coaches, and then figure out your NIL deals from there. Don't, have all this crazy drama and make everyone nuts. I'm done being nuts. I'm already nuts enough. But yeah, right, so Samson will be a Hurricane. Ruben Bain will be a Hurricane. Stanquan Clark will be a Hurricane. Mark Fletcher, I really don't know. And by the way, there's other three. I'd put it 70 in the 70+% for those three. Fletcher, 50-50. I predicted Fletcher to Miami, by the way, way back when he was on Ohio State.
You absolutely did.
So I'm praying.
I have to.
That actually comes true.
You said that way at the beginning.
Yeah, that'll be. Listen, I'll just retire. People will be happy. I'll retire. I'll just say, it's like that old Seinfeld where George makes a funny joke and he says, "That's it, I'm done," and he, just left and never came back to that office. But yeah, that'll be me. If Fletcher winds up in Miami, I'll say I predicted this 6 months ago. Why is everyone so surprised? Matt Shodell gave a 30% positivity chance on the RPM, LPV, GHI. I don't know what you call it, whatever that prediction thing is. 6 months ago, just look at the Matt Shodell predictions, and that's all you need to go by.
Anyway, so yeah, that'll be going on today, and we'll be keeping an eye on that one. And hopefully we'll be able to get a report on how that goes. Now, so last night,
and Damari Brown will be a Hurricane. As I know Devontae, as long as I think they're going to visit this weekend, him and Devontae. There's some people saying, that I'm talking to at least, that are saying, they can go to different places. It's fine. If one of them goes to FSU and the other one goes to Miami, it's fine.
Different places.
That's a bunch of baloney. I think they want to go together. I think the family wants to be able to watch them both play for the same team and not be split up on Saturdays and try to figure out who's going to see who play. So I think Florida State gave it their best shot last weekend. I do think they're going to wind up on Miami's campus for at least a day over this weekend. I think that'll seal the deal for both of them. So that'll be good too.
Well, one of our CaneSport Central Intelligence Agency agents was dining last night at the Duffy's in Plantation and saw Mike Norvell there eating with Damari Brown and his brother. So Florida State's efforts to get those two have extended beyond the visit this past weekend. Florida State clearly all in trying to get Damari Brown. But one thing that was noticeable about this dinner meeting was Selwyn Brown, the former Cane, and the father of the two brothers, was not at the meeting. Mom was. What does that mean? What do the tea leaves mean? I don't know. But I did find it interesting that
this is disgusting. They have a tsunami turkey burger on their menu. 7-ounce turkey patty, roasted Hawaiian pineapple, teriyaki cabbage, and scallion slaw with sriracha aioli.
What are you trying to figure out? What Mike Norvell ate at the Duffy's in Plantation?
That is disgusting. Anyway, sorry. I know people were wanting to hear what you said. So yeah, what's your insight on that? Sorry about that.
Well, the insight was that less than 24 hours after the end of Damari Brown's visit to Florida State this past weekend, Norvell was down here in South Florida seeing him again. They obviously think they can wrestle him away from Miami. Hopefully they cannot. That would not be a very good-looking picture for Florida State to take a Miami legacy kid and wrestle him away like this in a head-to-head recruiting battle. But it was interesting that they were out last night having dinner at Duffy's in Plantation. And thank you to our CIA for uncovering that. Nice little tidbit that we're able to bring to you here this morning
Yeah.
on Good Morning
Yeah,
King.
you're great CIA agent. I talked to that guy too, the CIA agent you're referring to. He claims Norvell ordered the kids grilled cheese for $4.99 with a side of fries. So like I'm not believing a word that dude said, okay?
Oh God. Well, in the meantime, we do have an update on Damari Brown on the website as well this morning. So make sure you check that out. We got a few more things to talk about today. But first, let's take a moment and let's hear from our sponsors of today's show. First, your holiday shopping destination, CaneSport.
Welcome to CaneSport. Family owned and operated since 2010, CaneSport has all latest merchandise for the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Inter Miami Soccer, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of I-595, or online at caneswear.com. CaneSport, the spot Miami fans shop.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Who came up with this on the menu? Okay. Crunchy fried cheesecake. Crunchy fried cheesecake.
No,
That
I've
reminds
actually
me-
had that. It's really not bad.
Well, first of all, who even would name it that? That's like, I was looking at a real estate listing because I like just looking at real estate listings for no real reason. And I was reading one of them, and literally in the description of the house, it said impressive hallway. I mean, that's what this reminds me of. Crunchy fried cheesecake is like impressive hallway, because if it's fried, it better be crunchy. Is it going to be soft, wet fried cheesecake? Like, of course it's crunchy. The fact they have to say crunchy scares me, because it means sometimes it hasn't been crunchy and they have to reinforce that this time it'll be crunchy. Don't worry. It will be. This fried one will be crunchy. Like, it makes no sense to me. I would never order that just because it says crunchy. Like, of course it should be. The fact you have to say that is scary.
Wow. All right, but back to what we were doing, which was thanking our sponsors. Now let's hear from LifeWallet.
We here at LifeWallet take security very seriously. Our data security team is working constantly to make sure that your data is not accessed by anybody who you don't authorize.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm
Excuse me, sir. Thank you.
I have talked to Steve, and he's thinking about it, and I'll be talking to CC. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
We use leading technology standards like biometric data to make sure that only you have access to your data and your identity is protected. LifeWallet gives you access to your entire medical history and information at the touch of your finger, so that it can save you time and can save your life.
Data transfer complete.
He opens the briefcase and there's nothing inside.
I'll tell you what's inside that briefcase.
There's nothing in. It's just an empty briefcase.
Yeah, but there's going to be some greenbacks in there, because I'm hearing Tyler Van Dyke. You remember I reported about a week or two ago that he was coming back and would be back with the Hurricanes. I'm hearing there's a pretty sizable NIL deal in the works to reward him for that loyalty. And I'm assuming that LifeWallet is going to be in the fray of that. So we'll keep our eyes open for details on that as well. But congrats to Tyler Van Dyke for coming back and being a Hurricane, and hopefully saving the program from more of what we saw.
When you go upstairs out of the basement after the show, I want you to ask Ruiz if he can do an ad where he splices together all the players who now are in the portal, gone from Miami, and do like a little LifeWallet thing with them. Maybe a death wallet. Like,
did you see Al Blades landed at Duke?
Yeah, I saw.
That was pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty
SMU, Duke. Like, these
he
are.
gets to go get his degree from Duke.
It's awesome, but these are players who are leaving, who apparently other schools that are decent programs seem to think, hey, these guys are okay.
Like, what guys are going to freaking SMU? I mean, who cares about a degree from SMU?
The SMU
Al Blades is going to be a graduate of Duke. How cool is that? Congratulations to Al. I think that's really cool. I like it.
What's wrong with a degree from Miami or SMU? They're all good degrees. I mean, Duke.
Come
Duke's
on,
a great
Duke.
school. Duke's a great school.
If you're gonna go be a grad transfer for a year and finish your degree,
he could have transferred to Harvard and gotten a degree from there. What's the difference? He's going to Duke. Duke's a place where he could probably play.
I know, but 5 years from now,
I don't think he's going there just to say, okay, I'm doing this for the degree. I think he's doing it because he can start, play, and try to have a career in football.
Okay, but he's probably not going to have a career in football, and
that's rude.
Well, I'm just being honest.
I mean, you told me for the first 10 years I worked for you that I wouldn't have a career in journalism.
You don't.
That's true. It never worked out for me.
I was right about that. I don't think Al Blades is going to have an NFL career. Okay,
but he
is going to have a piece of paper that says he graduated from Duke, and you know what? That is going to take that kid a long way, I believe, because he's a good kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and I think that is just awesome that he's getting a Duke degree. I was really happy to see that. All right, Matt, where do we take this from here? I mean, there's so many.
I mean, let me tell you something. Yesterday was just an insane amount of information between Steven, Azubi, and myself that we were just trying to, throughout the day, pound out there between message board posts. I mean, we can't even talk about it all this morning. Just like go on the site and look back. If you haven't been on the site in the last 18 hours, I highly recommend just scroll through the Good Morning headlines from yesterday and now today, because it's an insane amount. Honestly, it's too much. I'm like over it. I'm over it. I'm ready for December 22nd. And I'm only getting like 8 hours of sleep, which is like 7.5 more than Mario gets. And it's not enough for me.
There's a few I'll make note of. Okay, Marcellus Pullum is a recruit that's a little under the radar. Okay, he is a guy that I know that Miami really loves. That Miami thinks is going to be an extremely good football player. We have an update with him that I think is worth checking out. We have an update on Antoine Jackson, who for some reason is creating some drama here down the stretch. We have not been able to get our hands around how much drama it really is. He went on a visit to East Carolina. It would be shocking, Matt, I think, if he passes on an opportunity to go play at Miami, to go to East Carolina because his girlfriend is going to school there. So I don't know.
I mean, what I was told is that it's really only I don't understand why Antoine doesn't want to talk anymore. He was very talkative. And then I called him yesterday and I'm like, hey, can we, just sort of talk about where things are going here? And he's like, oh, I'm in class. And I'm like, oh, no problem. We'll talk later or whatever. And then like 5 minutes later, he sends out a tweet. I'm no longer doing interviews. So I don't know if he Jaleel Florence me or what. Oh, by the way, it's until after signing day, which I was told by somebody that he's not even going to sign on signing day. So and wait till February. So the whole thing is so messed up. I was told it's just down to really just Miami and East Carolina. There's no even other school that's really expecting to be pushing for him at this point, unless somebody just comes in off the radar today or yesterday afternoon after I checked in with some sources on him. But people at Miami, I think, are still pretty confident he'll be there. And similar to like Cormani McLean, right? All those rumors about Alabama, we had a good inside look. And the truth is, I was trying to post on the message board to let people know last week, but when all those rumors were flying on Twitter that, Cormani McLean's gonna, they're trying to get him to visit Alabama and everyone's freaking out. And we wrote a story at that time just saying that, yeah, T-Rob visited, they want him to visit, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we were told by some people close to the situation, but we were asked not to report it because their family is very private for whatever reason. They didn't want us to just say this. I don't know why. But we were told that Cormani really didn't even want to meet with Alabama, that he wasn't going to visit Alabama. So when people were posting the message board, it's over, I kept saying, like, let it play out. Don't be worried about it. Let's see what happens, And then yesterday we were finally given the okay to write a little bit of what we knew from the week before about the inside story and what actually happened, where T-Rob goes to the school, spends all day there trying to talk to Cormani, never gets an audience with Cormani the whole day at school, goes to practice, waits the whole practice. Cormani ends in special teams. T-Rob comes up to Cormani to try and spend some time with him and chat with him and get him to come to Alabama on a visit. And like Cormani was just like having none of it. Very short conversation. Cormani went home. Like that was it. That's all that actually happened, And everyone, the whole Twitter world T-Rob's at Lakeland. Oh my gosh, it's over, And then, but my favorite story that I wrote, really from probably the whole recruiting cycle, was on Isaac Tesla. Some people pronounce it Tesla, but really that's just Elon Musk pronounces it that way. So Isaac Tesla, a really great story. I don't know that he'll wind up in Miami. My inclination is if he visits, there will be a chance. But when I spoke to him yesterday, he wasn't sure if he'd even visit. Miami did offer him, passed the phone around to a bunch of people. Just a little late in the game. He already visited Iowa State, but he's an interesting story because I've never had a player who's a Division II player who played quarterback in high school. Was no offers really. The only offer he got was at this weird little school up there, and he's moved to receiver at this program.
And I'm hearing like this kid can flat play. I mean,
you can watch his videos. His videos are really impressive. Yeah. So
the videos are impressive, but you're like, you're looking at them at face value. I mean, he's not playing against great competition. But I spoke to a few people yesterday about him, and I was told that this kid is a real deal kind of player, and they are absolutely all in on trying to land him here at Miami. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get him to visit and where that goes.
Well, he's in Stewart right now with his girlfriend. So he should. I would think he should come down. I don't know why he wouldn't. I don't know why he didn't just tell me, I'm coming. I guess he has to get with coaches more and just set it up. But
I'd be surprised.
What I was trying to say is he wound up
because I know that that people really, really like this kid.
Well, he's got a few decent offers now, but he went to Hillsdale College, D2. Didn't play his first year almost at all, which is class of 2020. Last year, began the season on the bench. Okay. And now this year started. So he started on the bench for a Division II program at wide receiver last year. And now he's, a major Division I transfer portal prospect. So go figure. But a really neat story. And I talked to his high school coach. I actually wanted to talk to his college coach. I figured, what a great story. It'd be really cool to hear the college coach's perspective. So, being the intrepid reporter that Gary doesn't think I am, I went onto the Hillsdale College Chargers website. I figured, this is the kind of program it is. You look you literally just go to click on coaches, and it literally gives you the coach's name and his direct office number, because that's Hillsdale College. You can't get Mario Cristobal's direct office number on the Miami website, but you can get the Hillsdale College head coach's number. I call him. I figure, this guy's going to be super excited to talk to me. It's a chance from the national exposure on the On3 network for his little college, honestly, that really has never had a major prospect before. So I call the nice head coach gentleman. I say, I identify myself, tell him I'm doing a nice story on Isaac Tesla, and he says to me, "I'm not talking about Isaac," and hangs up the phone. That was it. He Jaleel Florence me. And talking to a couple of people afterwards about it, I came to the realization the reason he didn't want to talk about Isaac is because he's a crazy person. Not because he's a crazy person, because he was upset that
he must be upset that he's leaving him.
He's upset that he left because they turned him into, their perception is we turned him into what he is, and this is the thanks we get, whereas really, if they were a little more thoughtful in their mental judgment,
they would take credit for developing.
They could have given me some great quotes about how he came in. He didn't know anything about receiver, how they taught him, which is all true. They taught him how to play wide receiver, and now he's getting major D1 offers. How many other recruits would that have helped them get in the recruiting process that would have read this story, maybe, that aren't major programs, that would reach out to Hillsdale and say, please look at my film? But instead, the coach hung up on me. So if you're a recruit out there, do not go to Hillsdale College. The coach will not promote you at all to On3 Network. That's the truth. He hung up on me. That's what happened. The dude hung up on me when he had a chance to give his program serious national exposure. I literally was flabbergasted. Couldn't believe it. Because we've done this before with programs like that, where, even high school programs, the coaches a lot of times love to talk to us because they took a player who's a basketball player and turned him into a football player. They love to talk about that.
Collins Action McClung, yeah.
Not so much. Just very angry.
All right, so the bottom line of all this, as it pertains to this show, which I understand has evolved into the Matt Shodell Comedy Hour.
Sorry, it wasn't comedy.
Yet again, it has evolved.
It's not comedy.
What's people wake up in the morning, they want hurricane news, and they get a Jerry Seinfeld concert.
The only thing that maybe I went off on a tangent about was the crunchy fried cheesecake. Only because you brought up this stupid place with your CIA agent. Okay, I had nothing to do with that.
That's a true story.
Well, so are my stories are true too.
They literally, but the agent was literally sitting at the next table over from them. It was.
What did I say that wasn't true? I
tried to get pictures, but I guess they couldn't do it secretly.
Oh well, here, you know what? Here, let's talk some football then. Okay, so I did get, I've been like going crazy with trying to get information. So I did get some of the high school official visitors. There's going to be a lot. I don't want to really list the transfer portal guys. I know, people know who's coming transfer portal wise. A couple of guys during the week, a couple of guys on the weekend, but there's going to be more. I don't want to say it until there's more sort of in the bank. But as far as high school players coming, Conrad Hussey, his coach told us, likely to be here this weekend. That's huge because I do think with him taking an official visit as expected, there's a really good chance that he'll wind up flipping from Penn State. And I love the Mario versus Manny thing with that too. It's gonna be so great. When he flips, everyone's gonna be like, Mario beat Manny. Mario's 1-0 against Manny. That's gonna be great.
Manny didn't even like to recruit St. Thomas when he was here. How all of a sudden is Manny in the running for a St. Thomas kid?
I mean, yeah, they got Harley. That's about it. But you're right. So Bain's coming. Mark Fletcher's coming. Then you got commits coming like Horton. Tinalau is probably coming. It's going to be interesting to see because Miami does not have a lot of visit spots left. They will have barely any left for January moving forward.
They can get Tinalau to come unofficial probably.
So that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, so Tinalau might be unofficial. Bobby and Robbie Washington, they might talk him into being unofficial, explaining to them. Emory Williams is already coming unofficially just to help out, which is awesome. He already took his official visit, so it's not like they are even need him to come, but he's like volunteering to come down and help recruit Conrads and the Rubens and the Fletchers of the world. And then Marcellus Pulliam is available, taking OV, and so is Caleb Spencer. Those guys are out of town, so those would have to be officials if they come. Stanquan Clark probably has to be official also just because they need him. And, you need to pay for everything. So, it's going to be interesting with those few guys, but that's sort of where things stand right now just with the high school players. Just so that I don't get these comments on YouTube. You only talked about cheesecake. I want to hear about recruiting, okay? I also talked about recruiting. I can do, like Gary says, I can stumble around and chew tobacco at the same time. I talked recruiting and cheesecake at the same time. No complaints, please.
It's the Jay Collette anthem, Walk and Chew Gum.
I don't know.
With the Mikester cane recording the music around it. It's great. These are all like the cult guys we have from CaneSport Live.
I don't even understand the expression. Of course you can walk and chew gum. Like, that's what you do. You don't stand still and chew gum. It makes no sense, which is why I keep trying to change it. I wish you would stop saying it because obviously anyone can walk and chew gum. I can walk, chew gum, play baseball, and do many other things at the same time. Like, why only walk and chew gum? It's a stupid expression. Stop using it.
I like it. It's pretty applicable.
It makes no sense. It's not applicable at all because anyone can do it.
So, yeah, there's tons of recruiting stuff on the website. Encourage you guys to check it out. If you're not yet a subscriber to CaneSport.com, our introductory special is $10. It'll take you to the start of football season. Please come join our community and get in on all the excitement that's on our website on a daily basis.
And by the way, you do understand why you're
interrupting me again.
Because do you understand why you're saying walk and chew gum at the same time? Do you even understand why you're saying that? Do you know where it comes from? Do you know what the saying actually is? I'm guessing by your elongated silence that you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no clue. Go ahead.
The expression is so-and-so is such a, I don't know what word's appropriate. Can you say, you can't say the M word. You can't use any intelligent word. I'll say that guy is so mentally incapacitated that he cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. That's the actual saying. You've somehow turned it into someone who can walk and chew gum, which is the easiest thing in the world. When you can't do it, that's the saying.
What? What are you talking about? This saying has been around forever.
Can't walk
I'm not claiming it's original, okay?
It makes no sense because you're taking a saying that's so-and-so can't walk and chew gum, and you're applying the opposite of it, which isn't the reverse. It makes no sense. Stop saying it.
I apologize, everybody.
Say something that makes sense, like
I
stumble
apologize
around.
that your commute to work
Stumble around and
has
chew
turned into something
tobacco.
painful
Because
this
you can't
morning.
stumble around and chew tobacco at the same time, you'll choke. So do something that actually makes sense, which I'm trying to help you reach that level of, the Siddhartha,
Mental acuity? Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah. The Siddhartha level is what I'm trying to help you reach, but you apparently just can't grasp it. So there'll be no enlightenment for Gary Ferman for the foreseeable future, unfortunately.
All right. Well, so we have all this recruiting stuff on the website, believe it or not, and we kind of tie it all together with a story on what is Miami's path to finishing with a top 5 recruiting class. So you guys can make sure to check that out as well. We've got our Canes in the NFL stats and highlights from this week's games. You can look at that. And man, I think we've covered most of it now. I think that will about do it for this morning for today's show. Today promises to be just as action. Well, maybe not quite as action packed.
No, it better not be. I was going.
I don't think it can.
From 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. It was nonstop yesterday. It is not going to be like that again.
It really was insane. Yeah. You
know how I know today won't be as insane, Gary? I'm going to the surf club for dinner. So any of you fans out there who want to hang out outside the surf club and take some paparazzi pictures, I will be in a disguise. You will not see me there.
You can eat stone crabs?
At the surf club? No, I don't even know. First of all, I don't even know if I can afford the salad appetizer there, okay? I'm going because it's a special occasion for somebody that I am related to, my wife. And, she gets to order whatever she wants, and I will have a salad appetizer, please, and a glass of warm water. That's pretty much what I can afford.
All right. That's going to do it for today for Good Morning CaneSport. We thank you so much for starting out your day with us. It's much appreciated. If you like this show, hit your subscribe button, hit your like button. It helps us with the algorithms at YouTube grow our audience. So for the wannabe Jerry Seinfeld, I'm Gary Ferman. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.